Hey, Jack Squad. How everybody doing? Hope all is well, and I hope you're making it happen for yourself. You got to make it happen for yourself, right? Before we get started, make sure you guys like, share, comment, subscribe. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. All of my social media information is down in the description box, as well as my email and Cash App. You can email your comments, thoughts, suggestions, whatever. And if you want to donate to my channel, you do so through Cash App. And as always, we got the t-shirts, right? So I want you guys to get your t-shirts. Everybody that got one, thank you. Still got plenty more. Black, white, red, small, medium, large, extra large. 2X is in white only. They are $25. And the way to order your t-shirt is to email me your full name, full address, your size and your color, and then I'll email you back what your shipping and handling will be, and then you can Cash App me your total, okay? All right, y'all. So anyway, y'all, I'm gonna talk about something today that disturbed me. It disturbed me greatly, right? And because I'm a product of this very thing here that I'm getting ready to talk about, right? So there is a pastor, Pastor Dwight Reed. His church is Christ Apostolic Temple, and it's out of Des Moines, Iowa, right? He's a pastor. He is 63 years old, 6'3", okay? And he married a young girl, not woman, girl, of 18 as soon as she turned 18. And on the picture, I wish I knew how to do all the graphics and stuff. On the picture, she looks pregnant. Now, this is all kind of ways wrong, y'all. All kind of ways wrong, right? There's nothing that you can say to me to say, oh, that's cool, that's okay, that's nice, wonderful, congratulations. No, there's nothing that can be said for me to say this is right. First of all, we're just going to go by age. Let's say he was Joe Blow and this was little Tanika, right? Still wrong, okay? Still wrong. But this is a pastor. This is a pastor. Yes, he's human, but you got to know right from wrong, and this is clearly wrong. And what I would like to know is, where are her parents? Where are her guardians? Who allowed this? See, that's what I want to know. Who allowed this? Listen, I am a product of that same thing. I'll go into much detail in my book. My father was a pastor. He was a preacher man. His church is still standing. The church he started is still standing in Cleveland, Ohio. It was a storefront. You know, it started off as a storefront, I've been told. And he was 50 when I was born. He was 50 years old. And my mother was 18. That means he got with her at 17, like this man did her, and got my mother pregnant, right? He married my mother. My mother was his fourth wife, right? I want to know, because I didn't know. My father died when I was very, very young, 2 or 3. I would like to know what my grandmother, I never knew. I didn't know her. I met her once or twice. I didn't know her, right? I want to know how you gave your daughter away to a grown man older than you. Older than you. Now, I'm going to stay focused because this is something very dear to me. We're talking about them. Pastor Dwight Reed of the what's the name of the church again? Of the Christ Apostolic Temple. Okay. And they're taking a picture. They look very proud. See, this is weird to me, right? Because you're a pastor of a church. What do your congregation say when you march little Missy up there? What does the congregation say? Yay, pastor! You know, nobody has anything to say. Did anybody say anything? Did anybody call them on the phone? Did they have a meeting? Did they have a special meeting? You know, the deacons, now I don't know in apostolic churches if they have deacons or not. I'm not sure. But I know they got a board of people. I do know that. They have a board of some sort, right? Did anybody say anything? Like, did anybody say anything? And I sat on this for a couple of days because I pondered if I wanted to commentate on this, right? But I feel like I should, you know, and as y'all see, I'm real passionate about it, right? Because, the girl looks so young. Like, in my mind, y'all, what does a grown man 63. Let's say he was 43. Let's say he was 33. What do a grown man want with a 18-year-old girl? What would be the reason for that? How do you talk to her? She knows nothing. How do you talk to her, right? And this one here looks sweet and innocent. She don't even look like she's been out there in the streets with Shay Shay now. You know, she looked like a sweet, innocent church girl, which is what they prey upon. And why would you want her? Why are you interested in her? Why does your body yearn for somebody like that? How do you get ready? I need all those questions answered, right? What was so attractive about this little girl? Does that make him a pedophile just because she was borderline grown, you know, in the eyes of the law? But in the eyes of morally, she's too young for you. Morally, legally, it's cool. Morally, she's too young for you, right? Way too young. Does does Pastor Reed have children elsewhere? Does anybody in his family, is there anybody that say, wait a minute, man, right? And then I seen another picture. It looks like she was sitting on his lap. Like, you know, when I was growing up, we couldn't sit on no laps. Not even our uncles. Don't sit on. I mean, I never really understood that till I got grown. Like, you know, you love your uncle. You run up to him and hug him or whatever, right? I love my uncles, right? And they was always friendly guys from what I know, right? And so we weren't allowed to don't sit on no man's lap. And definitely not a stranger. You don't even get in a stranger man's face. You don't even, matter of fact, we couldn't even be around when grown folks was talking. Especially if it wasn't no family member. Even if it was family member, you just don't sit around unless it's some other kids we playing or something like that. It's a holiday or something. But just sitting there in grown folks' business and face, no, we didn't do that, right? So, better not do that. And if you happen to be there and they ain't paying you no attention, you better not say nothing. Because if you say something, that's when you're going to get checked and removed, right? But I want to know what the congregation like. If my pastor, right now, I love my pastor to death in Cleveland, right? Pastor DeWitt Chappelle. If he came to church and said, hey, y'all, this is my girlfriend, I am positive that most of the folks, especially the mothers and them deacons, all the people that got something to say about what he do anyway, I am positive folks would go in an uproar. I'm positive of that. My church in Cleveland, I'm positive they would go in an uproar, right? And I don't know if I could even go back and if I could go back and listen to him and listen to anything he say. Now, yes, he's human. He's just a man. Yes. But you have to have some type of morality. You have to have some type of goodness about yourself. Like that whole thing is wrong to me. And then he just smiling. That's, you know, and it's not a crime, right? Because I remember my daughter was with a man. She was with him for a long time. He was a little older. I didn't know he was older because they portrayed him as younger. Because he looked like that. Didn't know he was older until they came to my job. I needed her to pay a bill or something. They came to my job to get the money. He came with her. And one of my girlfriends said, oh, that's my brother's friend. And the brother was 25, 27, you know, something like that, right? When it got to the get down, you know, and I called the police about it, well, this man is she's too old. I mean, he's too old and so on and so forth. They said she's 17, she can do what she wants. So that was that, right? And, you know, the more you try to take them away from that, the more they with them, you know, because it's them against the world. That's how they think, right? So anyway, especially at that age. So anyway, I this really troubled me when I saw that because he was a pastor. Do your congregation still stay and watch you? Like sometimes these pastors, people be so engrossed and so blinded by what they are doing that they think everything they do is okay or they don't say anything, right? That always bothers me. Like your pastor is not a God. He is human and he is a man, but he's not a God, right? And you just, certain things you just can't do. And I you know, you can't, listen, if I went to a church if I go to a church right now, I'm in Atlanta, I'm looking for a church, right? If I visit a church right now and the man is 99 and she 10, I ain't going back. I don't want to hear nothing he got to say. Because obviously his thought process is off. Obviously, right? So you can't give me a word because you ain't getting it clearly. Clearly, you're not getting it, right? Now, I know, you know, some religions and some faiths, you know, they get little girls, but we not that. We in the United States. We not that, right? And that just troubled me so, right? I didn't like it. I want to know what the backlash is. But I tried to find some information on his church to see what the congregation has to say about it, right? What do y'all have to say? If anybody know it, because first of all, this gonna sound ignorant, but I didn't know there's that many black folks. I wonder what this congregation consists of. So I didn't know there's that many black folks in Des Moines, Iowa. Like, it always amazes me. I didn't even know that many black folks were in. Where's my girlfriend? She's in Omaha, right? People are moving all around the country. But there's certain places that I just would not go because I know that I'm not welcome, and there's not that many of us. I want to be around a lot of us, right? No matter how crazy or whatever. Now, I don't want to be around no violence while I left Cleveland, but I want to still be around us, right? So, y'all drop down in the comments. Let me know what you think of this old-ass preacher with this little girl, because that's what it is, old-ass preacher with a little girl. And where are her parents? Who've been taking care of her? Whoever was her caregivers, whoever was her guardians, I'd like to know where they at and if they thought this was cool. And then I heard someone say, well, maybe he gave her parents some money. There was an envelope passed, right? And I have to think, my mother never, really told the whole truth about that situation. She acted like my father was the greatest and she just see nothing wrong with it. But my grandmother, she's dead, but I would like to know, what did this man say to you that you said you gave the okay for him to marry your daughter, even though she was, I guess 18 when they got married, maybe 17, but I know when I was born, I was 18. It take 9 months, damn near a year. So that means you was with her at 17, okay? So I don't care what nobody says to me about whatever. The greatest love of my life, I couldn't resist. It's wrong. It's wrong, right? Right now, one of my sons come over here. They still young, but one of my sons came over here with a 10-year-old, 15-year-old. Even my son that's 20, how old is he, 28 or 29? My youngest son, if he came over here right now with a 17, 18-year-old girl, and I guess that's legal and that's cool, but that's wrong. Because the only reason I can think that a man wants a younger woman that young is so he can control her. So he can't control her. That's the only reason, because she's not on your level mentally. She don't know what you're talking about. She has not lived enough life. You want to control her. Now at 63, I don't know if his body part's still working. Maybe so, right? And then in my mind, if they are, that's, she's already pregnant, but I think that's wrong, right? I think it's wrong and cruel. And you rob her of learning about her sexuality with someone of her age. I just think it should be someone of your age. That's what I think, right? Because it robs you of something, I think, right? Some sort of innocence, some sort of discovery. I don't know. I just think a big grown man that's been having sex with everybody, and then he come with you. I just think if you're 18, 17, you should have sex with somebody your age. That's the beginning when you first go around. That's just what I think, right? And I just don't like it at all, right? And I don't like it. I don't like it. And then if she is pregnant, because she looks mighty pregnant, I'm gonna say this: you've robbed the baby. If it's your baby, you've robbed this little baby of a father, because you ain't gonna live to be 120. So you robbed this child of having you as a parent, of having a parent, right? And that's the real thing. You robbed this baby, this child that you can bring into the earth, of having a parent. Right? Now, the girl young, if something happened to him, she can go and get another husband, another stepdaddy and all that. But I just say that it's wrong. Because, I'm speaking from experience. I never knew who my father, I have vague memories of him. Very, very vague, right? And so he died when I was 2 or 3. And people are living longer now. Yeah, they died younger. My father died at, I guess he was 52 or 3 or something like that, right? That's very young to be leaving this earth. I just think it's wrong. I would like to know what his church, what his congregation thinks. I would like to know what his friends think. Do you think that's cool? Like, hey, you got a young one. I don't like it, y'all. I just don't like it. But don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to purchase a t-shirt. Okay? Make it happen for yourself t-shirts. They're $25, small, medium, large, extra large, 2X and white. They're $25. So anyway, like I said, guys, drop down in the description box and tell me what you all think about a 63-year-old pastor. 63-year-old pastor. Even though people say pastors they are just a man, but I do And most people do hold them to a higher standard. That's just natural, right? Even though they're human, they're men, you know, and they see it like everybody else. But did you know, some things I just think you shouldn't do. Even, and especially if you're a pastor, especially if you have a congregation, like people are looking at you. So you're the role model. So do all the other 60-year-old men go get them a 15-year-old, 18-year-old, 20-year-old, you know, like all that's wrong. It sets a bad precedent. It's a bad look. I don't like it, right? So anyway, y'all, like I said, drop down in the description box. Let me know what you think about this old ass man messing around with this little girl and then married her. I guess he think that make it right because he married her, right? That don't make it right. It make it legal. It's legal. It's all legal, but it ain't right. It ain't right. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think about that, okay? Everybody be good and stay safe.